we are back once again with Garlips and Axton here to do Silent Hill 4. The Silent Hill 1 run was really good. It's unfortunate that you died, but once again, take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully that's not going to happen again. Famous last words. This is Silent Hill 4. Silent Hill 4. Some people don't like Silent Hill 4. They don't consider it part of the original kind of like OG Silent Hills. I'm here to tell you that you're wrong, that it's amazing, and that you should all play this brilliant game. There is a lot more luck elements at play here than there were in Silent Hill 1, so at times I will be asking you for good luck. If you could just like send me that, like magically through the power of the internet, I would appreciate it. Axe, any other thoughts?
Eileen is a warrior and should be praised and protected. Those are my
Yeah.
final thoughts.
See, the thing is, like, when you start running this game, you will get very angry at Eileen, but like part of the learning process of the run is to realize that she's trying her best and that you shouldn't shout at her.
You shouldn't shout at her, or she'll start hitting herself.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Exactly. We don't want any of her poetry, so like we need to avoid that completely. Okay, so again, time will start when I select easy. Again, it's going to be IGT for the final time, but it's always nice to time it in real time as well. So I will count us in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. And off we go. We're going to be skipping a lot of cutscenes. The last game was on emulator. We are now playing like PC, so this version is available on GOG. I highly recommend it, even though it's missing a couple of bits and pieces from the original PS2 game. I highly recommend it. Everyone should go.
Yeah, the high res textures really make a difference. As much as unless you have like a really good PS2 setup to make things go up or better quality, this is really the best, most cheap option.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is that I'm playing it on the lowest settings because it makes the game go faster. So the game looks much nicer than this if you buy it off GOG, so don't let that put you off. So what we're doing right now is, our name is Henry Townsend. We're kind of locked in our apartment. It's been locked from the outside and from the inside.
No, from the inside.
And we're just picking up some bits and pieces before we go and check out the giant hole in our bathroom that's appeared.
And that's not the toilet. It's actually in the wall.
It is, but we need the clarification sometimes. It's helpful. So we're going to run right in there. We're going to be so efficient in this corridor you won't even see it. And off we go to world number 1. Oops. Let that play for a second. So I've got to tap W really fast here. Well, kind of in a rhythm as well.
Yeah. As you press forward, Henry will start to slow down, like he's like reaching forward and then slowing down to reach forward again. If you stop pressing forward at the right time, you'll actually just keep the speed the entire time, and Henry moves through like Solid Snake.
He does. Unfortunately, we're going to be...
I'm trying to come up with something for that. Crab battle, Silent Hill 4, the room battle. There you go.
So we're going to be skipping all of the cutscenes again, unfortunately. I highly recommend, if you're interested in these games, go play them and enjoy the cutscenes. They're great. The lore in this game especially is really intriguing. Some of the choices they made were interesting, but
it's
like
bizarre.
I love them.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like, you can look at it and go, well, this doesn't make sense. That's fine. It's bizarre on purpose. Just let it be bizarre.
Yeah. It's Silent Hill. What are you going to do?
So we met Cynthia, and Cynthia needed to use the restroom for some reason. After a while, a dog flies out the door, and we have to walk in and find out. Turns out she's not there anymore, but there is a hole. Leads us back to our apartment, which gives us, the player, the game loop. Hole from bathroom to new world, hole in new world, back to home.
Yes, basically throughout the game you will either have to like head into the world to find items and story to progress, or come back to your apartment to do things to get items to progress. There's lots of toing and froing, but don't let that put you off. I love this game, honestly. I really do.
Fun fact about Garlips and myself, this is our first speed game. We started to compete against each other with it because we both wanted to get into speed running. And I was like, well, I'll choose a game, and I chose this. And we went at it, and Garlips beat the crap out of me.
Now, That's not strictly
He
true.
beat me out of speed running. Pushed me to the side. He said, "No more competition."
Well,
But that's why we know a lot about it.
I found out incidentally that I kind of love speedrunning, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I also started my
gift.
speedrunning career on April the 1st, so if that gives you any idea, like, just the level of stupidity involved. April 1st, yeah, I'll start.
Also,
So-
I always chose Purple Blood when we played this game, and that was an homage to an Eternal Enigma.
Yeah. I
Because
think
of
I
being a
have
Silent
Purple
Hill 4
Blood
speedrunner.
selected, don't I?
You do? You do?
Yes, excellent.
I'm just saying that's the reason why I chose it. I'm not saying that's the reason why you chose it. I
Oh,
don't want to
purple,
speak for you.
purple is just the correct color.
It is. It's a wonderful
To
color.
be honest, can we get the scientists working on Purple Blood? Can we all just change, please? I would prefer it. I mean, obviously we'd
Wow.
have to reshoot a lot of horror films, but I think it's worth it.
You'd have to reshoot a lot of horror films.
Yeah,
Aren't we doing that already with every remaster?
that's
But I
true.
digress.
So yeah, it's easy peasy nowadays. You just click a button. It works.
Purple
So you
Blood.
might have noticed there are some floaty people chasing me around. There are lots of ghosts in this game. They are the victims of a serial killer called Walter Sullivan. Spoilers, he's the guy who's locked me in my own apartment somehow. And
What a jerk.
yeah, complete. But basically, we're kind of like, at this point in time, we are trying to escape from the nightmare reality that we find ourselves in. But along the way, we will see more people that we know and maybe care for become victims. So he's still at it somehow. And we need to get to the bottom of things. Also, she has a really nice bonnet.
She wants to stop you so you can look at it and she can show it to you.
We
This
haven't
is
got
my
time.
bonnet.
We haven't got time.
Yeah, you're
Otherwise,
right.
I would.
I love bonnets.
I'm mad about them.
Yeah, this is what we call Subway 1, because there will be a time when we come back to the
Yeah.
subway.
A lot of people criticize
And-
this game because essentially the second half is a escort mission and simultaneously repeating the first half of the game again. But there are some differences. Like, they're not the same worlds. Well, they are sort of
Exactly.
geometrically, but there are
Yeah,
new things to find and
geometrically,
do.
But I brought it up earlier in Silent Hill 1 about how there are other world versions of every place you go to, the hospital, the Midwich School, and all that kind of stuff. That's just Silent Hill 4's way of doing the exact same thing, where you just have an otherworld version of what you're going through.
Ooh, I managed to avoid the doggy.
Good job.
Nice one.
Now, managed to avoid the Wallman.
Oh, here
We
come
went
the wallmen.
clean Wallman.
Yeah, we're going for a clean wallman today.
Every day, mostly. Now, the Wallmen are tricky because some of their attacks
Oh.
have attack frames that persist after the attack is done.
Yeah, they are
I
really
think it's
sketchy.
the overhand strike that does it. That one right there. You have to be very careful at when you move forward. And sometimes the Wallmen will actually swing a number
Multiple
of
times as well. Yeah.
Oof. I've seen
It's
up
okay.
to seven swings in a row.
Yeah,
where they
it's
just
crazy.
swing. It was maddening.
That's a fairly good wallman. I only got hit maybe twice.
Yeah.
It's not bad. But
It
it's
was
not
a big
clean.
hit, unfortunately, but it was just one of those. Not too bad. Oh, God. It's the one hit, actually. And so Cynthia died. We didn't see
Yeah,
that.
unfortunately, Cynthia, very sadly passed away.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go meet the next person who's gonna die in horrible
totally gonna live.
circumstances.
This is Forest 1.
Yeah.
This is the forest that's like outside Silent Hill, kind of like geographically, but it also
Yeah.
surrounds an orphanage that Walter Sullivan was raised in.
Pretty much all of this game takes place outside of Silent Hill, which is a really bold and interesting decision, and I approve it, to be honest. I think some people
Yeah.
are sad you didn't get to the... You do kind of... The water prison itself is definitely in Silent Hill because it's across the lake. So is the forest as well, but it's on the outskirts. You don't go to the town proper, I would say.
Right. But to those people, I always say that Silent Hill 1 still exists if you want to go to the town.
Yeah.
Town's still there. You can play that game. So, it was a bold choice to actually branch out and see more of the surrounding area.
I think so.
We
I
just
think
passed by Jasper, didn't we?
yeah. So that was Jasper. He's an interesting fellow. Very nice.
Loves chocolate milk.
He does love chocolate milk. Some of you may have noticed I have some chocolate milk in my pocket. That's for Jasper.
It's our last chocolate milk. We're making the big sacrifice here.
We are. Oh, I got bit as I went through the door. That doesn't happen. Anyway, we have to do some running around, basically. We need to go and see a child about a cutscene.
Yeah. This part of the forest is all triggers. So once we see the cutscene, things will change back at the orphanage where we just ran past it. And we can progress the game a bit further.
Because
I always get tripped up at this door up here too, because it's just, if you just stand still, it looks like a cutscene started.
yeah,
But you have to move
this
forward.
screen, you have to move forward a tiny bit for the cutscene to play.
Like the number of seconds I've lost in speedruns just staring at that kid.
Do something, kid.
Hurry up! I gotta go. What are you doing? You're killing me, Smalls.
The one interesting thing about Silent Hill 4, as opposed to the other Silent Hills, is that your inventory space is very limited. You can see actually that I've got my health bar in my inventory like permanently turned on. That's an option you can have, because I just prefer to see all the information. Otherwise they kind of like vanish away. Anyway, we're going to give some chocolate milk to Jasper. He loves it. It's a hit.
He loves it.
We traded it for a spade, because reasons. I want it. I'm going to take it.
There you go. He will drink that chocolate milk forever if you don't progress the story from this point on. The animation just loops, and he just gets some real mileage out of that bottle.
He does.
Sick dodge with that tree.
Now, for all the love
Speaking of
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, speaking of chocolate milk, we just got a redemption in chat for hydration. So just a reminder to grab your own chocolate milk and give her a swig.
We'll get right round to that.
I only have water. It's like being in a prison.
It's the saddest story I ever heard. But we just picked up a key. Now, as much love as we've heaped on Silent Hill 4, there are some like beginner's traps that are a bit trolly if you're playing this casually, and one of them is this. There's a key, and you have to actually go home and put it in your chest. Otherwise, that area will loop forever and you won't be able to escape. So, you're also going to get rid of that. Oh, get rid of the bullets, keep the tokens.
I remember my time casually playing this, like the very first time. I was like, well, how do I get back? You know, and then like it clicks, like a gear turns in my head. I can put it in my chest at home.
Yeah.
And then I can come back and is there a hole over by the orphanage? You know, like those
It's a
kinds
really
of things
neat
are great.
puzzle, but it is kind of trolly because I can't remember how much of a clue it actually gives you. There's some writing on the trees, but I think most of that you can only read with Eileen the second time you come here.
There's definitely some writing somewhere. It might even be in a note you get in your apartment or something.
Yeah, maybe.
We're
going to be reading.
Dog boost, by
We're
the
going
way.
to be reading
That's,
precious
when the dog
little
boosts
notes, to be honest.
you. See, it's a speed run thing.
They were giving me a helpful bump. Helpful bump.
That's right. That's right. They're helpful dogs. Also, you'll notice that we go through the holes much faster. And he's skipping the cutscene, but if we could see it a little bit, it would zoom through the holes like he's a snake, like just really moving through those holes.
There's
I
a
like
cutscene for
imagining
going
Henry
through
just
the
like
hole. There's a cutscene for going through the hole. There's a cutscene for waking up in bed. You can skip all of them because they. This is the first Silent Hill, I believe, that has cutscenes that add to the in-game timer. I'm pretty sure the first 3 don't. So skipping is beneficial. Anyway, Jasper's about to finish that chocolate milk. So we won't actually see Jasper die, but you will hear him a tiny bit. So listen for it, because it's coming. There it was. Ooh-ah. Ooh-ah.
Yeah, he is a little disturbed.
Is he feeling a little ill?
Yeah. It's all the
Perhaps
chocolate milk. I mean, it was in the fridge. Yeah, he is. It was in the fridge, but
You could say-
I've had it in my pockets for 20 minutes while I ran around, so I don't know how good that milk
Yeah.
is anymore.
That's as warm as Henry's body.
You could say he's gotten down with the sickness.
There it is.
One could say that, yes.
Mhm.
Scholars of our time disturbed may well have said that.
Scholars of our time.
Usually it's Limp Bizkit. For some reason, Limp Bizkit come up, and I'm like, scholars of our time, Limp Bizkit said to keep rolling. Today
That's what
Disturbed.
Andrew DeSalvo does later.
But that's true. He also does a kind of like a Sonic Spinball attack. But you'll never
Yeah.
see it because we should hopefully down him before that
He's
happens.
probably a Sega fan, you know?
I think so. I'd like to think so.
Everyone loves Sonic. Speaking of speedruns, this is the water prison.
Yeah, you might be wondering what we're doing exactly, but this is the water prison. Again, it's a very obtuse kind of like map design, but once you know your way around it, it's fairly simple.
Yeah.
The
And
ladders
it's all
are
the
used
way
as
down,
shortcuts.
and then all the way up.
But when you want to go down, you've got to like double back on yourself. It's a little bit confusing to begin with, but once you're aware of it,
What we're doing is we get that key at the bottom of the water prison, and now we're going to use that key. Actually, we use that key to open a door to get all the way up here,
Yeah.
so we can turn this valve and turn the water on, which turns the power on in the water
Yes.
prison. We don't have a flashlight in this game, but we still require light to read things, and there's a specific puzzle that required that light in this prison.
I cannot tell you the number of times that a run has died because I did this puzzle wrong and there wasn't any lights on in the room when I got there. It's so upsetting.
I had it happen to me once, and I was like, no, why is there no light here? I'm sure it's not a problem. Just kept going anyway.
Just keep going,
And then he's
it's
like, I
can't see the door in front of me.
It's like, guess, Henry. Guess. What's wrong with you?
Anyway, this is the puzzle in question. So the easy way to remember it is to go all the way up to the top, start with the third floor. The third floor valve goes twice to the right. Okay, so once. We're going to count it together, okay, so I don't mess up. Once. And then twice. You can actually skip these cutscenes being played, but it's like a pixel perfect. Not pixel perfect. It's like a, a very short time
Frame
window.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
And if you
second
can skip
floor.
them, you can save up to like 6 seconds on your speed run. So.
Yeah. It's more
One.
like kind of like speedrunner cred if you can pull them off kind of thing. I've done it a couple
2.
times, but I'm not even trying today. That's 3.
3.
And then 4. You can turn this one in either direction 4 times. So long as it's the same direction, it can go left or right. But I do right so that they're all right. They're all right.
Also, going down this ladder is the first time in the run where you'll want to select the right-hand option instead of the left-hand option. That's what always throws me off when I get down
Yeah.
that ladder.
Usually you default on the no option in this game, but occasionally it moves around, and sometimes you've got 3 options, like we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're almost done with the wood prison. Sorry.
Yeah, it's actually very simple.
Yeah, when you boil it down, once you know where you're going, like a lot of the faff and the working out where you're supposed to go is cut off.
Yeah,
we're going
it's
to the 4th door on the right.
subway level 2. That's the worst to me. Also, the water right there is my mark when I choose this door.
Yeah, the gushing pipe. That's also a good way to remember it. More?
Also, the valves we turned at the very top actually physically turns levels of the water prison around.
Yeah.
So it lines things up. So the light goes all the way down all the holes, which lights up this number pad, which is the password is 0302, which is Harry's.
Yeah.
It's Henry's room number. I did call him Harry. We both messed up.
I moved to the 2nd floor, but I didn't tell him about it.
Yeah. I moved to the 2nd floor. It's better down there.
The one good thing about that screen, though, is that when you're on a thing where you've got to put in a number, the IGT pauses. So, oops, wrong way.
Oh, good. I do that all the time, too, because the camera points you in that direction.
Yeah.
You know?
We were talking about, like, trolley
turn
things
around.
the game does. It does that quite often. Points you in a direction that is not the one you want.
Yeah.
So we're in
This
building
is
world now.
building world. Yep. Building World 1, and it says called Building World because it's one big building with a bunch of shops in it.
And it's actually connected to the outside of the apartment building that we live in. It's kind of like the rooftops kind of scattered around that apartment building. Oops. So this ghost has a key that we want. It also has a sword in it. Swords can be used to pin ghosts in this game. If you pin a ghost, that ghost will not show up anywhere else in the game. It will be locked in place. We're only going to pin one ghost because we have to get an item from it. But
swords are the only way to deal with a ghost in this game.
Yeah, if you're playing this game
Always
casually, I would highly recommend like pinning at least Cynthia.
It was also the hardest to pin in my experience. For some reason, it just doesn't, like, whatever the trigger is, just doesn't happen easily. I always have to, like, down her a couple of times.
My headcanon is that, like, every other person in this game who dies that we didn't protect wasn't necessarily relying on us for protection, but Cynthia specifically says, you're going to keep me safe, right? And we don't. So it's kind of my headcanon is that she's super pissed at us, basically. I'm dead. I'm angry.
Yeah. Also, she resembles like a grudge monster in Japanese mythological folklore, and like the revenge headcanon you have fits nicely in that whole thing.
Yeah, she grew her hair out after she died. She grew her hair out, got a bit moody. It happens to all of us.
Moody. Changed her music collection to something a little emotional.
Yeah, she started rocking the Disturbed. What happened?
So these guys here, they're called gumheads, which is a strange name. But they're like big ape dudes who swing at you. Dudes and dudettes. There's a grandma I think we have later on that we talk about.
Yeah.
I haven't referred to her in so long I kind of forgotten.
It's like
it's been a while since I speedrun this.
Whenever I go past her, I always say, "Excuse me, ma'am," because I don't know why. It's stuck.
It's stuck. Yeah.
Kind of like gum.
Oh, kind of like gum. Oh my god! Wow.
Oh, I got 3 hits.
I thought you said kind of like you're using a filler word, and I was just waiting for you to finish your sentence. That hit me in the face.
This is Hell Corridor, but it's usually okay because we're speedrunners. Excuse me, ma'am. Oof! She's angry today.
She got you with the golf club. Yep. She's like, quit messing around with my children's.
So some of you might have noticed that actually while I'm back in the apartment, I heal. So some of the damage that I've been taking heals. Once we complete the hospital section of the game, the healing stops in the apartment. So at that point, I'll probably keep a bit of a closer eye on my health. But we should be good, he says, after Silent Hill 1.
And it's one of my favorite parts about this game, to be honest, because there's a genuine erosion of safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the number. Like you get to the apartment and it's like you heal just fine. You think, this isn't so bad. Whenever I have trouble, I can just go back to that hole, slide it back into my apartment like a snake, heal up, come back, it's fine. When that goes away, then you start to look at your inventory like, I'm gonna have to put some health items in here.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've been picking them up and keeping them too, because if you use them in the first half of the game, well, you kind of wasted them.
I will also say now is a good time to maybe read some donations or some blurbs because Henry's getting his cardio in.
Yes.
Alrighty, we can do that. So I just wanted to remind everybody why we are here trying to raise money. We're raising money for Organization for Autism Research. They're an organization that was founded in 2001, which raises awareness. Excuse me, my goodness, I just choked on my water. That raises awareness through the funding of pilot studies on topics of more everyday relevance, such as education, parent and teacher training. They're a parent-led, science-based organization that tries to spread awareness for autism and try to enhance the quality of life for individuals with autism. Instead of funding cause and cure, they fund directly to the individual's needs on everyday tasks such as education, parent and teacher training, and self-care. If you'd like to support them, type exclamation point donate. There we go. My brain stopped again. And you can go ahead and donate directly to them through our Tiltify link. Thank you so much.
Because so we just had another guy that you will barely see called Richard. He became Walter's next victim. He's actually living in the apartments that we're living in. And now we're in an otherworld version of those apartments. Basically, we can run past our own front door at this point. So what we need to do is we need to get the key, superintendent's office.
The Super Nintendo's office.
Yeah. And head on down. This world is actually, like, in the speedrun, it's incredibly short. What you actually need to do here doesn't take a lot of time at all. But
right.
Casually, you explore all the rooms and you find out all of the lore about the people who live here. It's very interesting.
It's very interesting, yeah. And one of the things, hi Walter.
Yeah,
one of the things is that you actually get to go into all of the rooms. Unlike most Silent Hills, a lot of the rooms are not locked. You can have the keys to every one of the apartments, and you can find out their background, their history, what they do. Like there's one guy who is a bodybuilder and video game hobbyist, which, you know, that's my dream. So I always look up to that guy.
What we're going to do next
now
is
we have
something...
the Super Nintendo's key, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, now we have the room.
Now we have all the keys for all the rooms, and what we're going to do is we're going to go and get a specific note that we need to put through our own front door. This room is really clever because you might have noticed I've not actually equipped any items yet during this run. That's because we're going to use something called leech magic. Could you explain leech magic very briefly, Chris?
If you don't have anything in your hands, you can hold the hold weapon button and the X button to actually activate the refrigerator and get everything you need out of it. Otherwise, if you press just the X button to open the refrigerator, you will automatically stomp on every one of those leeches until they're all dead, and it wastes a lot of time.
That one I just stomped on there, you basically have to stamp every leech in the vicinity before you can actually access the fridge. It
could be like a good 8 to 10, maybe 12-second loss on just stomp, stomp, stomp. And you can't stomp more than one, I don't think, unless it's like RNG related and you can get a couple of them together. But
yeah, I guess you might get two under your foot, but it usually tends to be one at a time.
Hi, Walter.
Bye, Walter. And now I've got to post my own post. What's the world coming to?
Like, somebody left our letters somewhere out there, and now we have to put it under our own door, and then we have to go into our own apartment. Really, we're just doing all of the work around here.
Yeah. Now, we're going to try and only pick up the note that we need, but we've amassed quite a collection of notes under our front door at this point, so if we pick up one of the other ones by accident, it's not the end of it.
Yeah. I think the optimum note picking up percentage at the end of the game is like 11 documents out of the number of documents you can get. Sweet. So that one there tells us where Eileen's room key is that right?
Yes, yeah. And it's in our bedroom, and it won't appear until you've read that note.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we have it.
For some reason.
I mean, that's a bit creepy, right? Oh, where am I going?
It is not there until you read the note. You have to read the note for it to activate.
Eileen, of course, is our neighbor. She is going to be the next victim unless we can stop it. So that's what we're kind of like interested in doing right now, because we've been spying on her through the hole in our wall. And I don't know what Eileen would do if she found out about it. What do you think she would do? I think she would freak out.
I think she'd probably scream, don't you think?
Yeah. That was perfectly timed. Beautiful. You love to see it. Right, so we are now going to open a new hole. The one that we were using is broken, and we need to make a new one. So we take this this lovely Pokemon card, put it on the wall. Watch this, it's a magic trick. The plates I've been collecting, you put them in.
What Yu-Gi-Oh card was that?
It was the Succubus Talisman. Now we really need to believe in the heart of the cards, because this is where we need really good luck. Axe, could you very briefly explain the hospital and how it works?
I'll take my time, thank you very much.
Okay.
So the hospital hallway has, what is it, 11 doors on both sides, left and right?
11 or 12, yeah, and something like that.
It's 11.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Slap, it's 11. And each room is a randomized room. There's 22 total rooms. Which room is which is randomized every time you come to this hallway. So we're looking for Eileen, and we're looking for Eileen's room key. We have to find her key before we can open up her door.
It's R1. It's the locked door.
All right. So R1 means the first door on the right. That's Eileen's room. Now we're just looking for her key.
I have had an L1 R1 once, and it was during a marathon. But that's not going to happen today. We've got an R1, and we still need the other room.
Yeah. The fun thing is, if you get the key first, you can actually activate the key in your inventory at every door.
And check
And when
the
you do
doors.
that, it'll either work or not work. If it works, that means you found the locked door.
You don't even
actually have to
go
waste
into the
time
room.
going inside. Yeah.
These wheelchairs are
There's a
also
lot
quite
of fun.
trolly, so be careful
Yeah.
of those.
There's a lot of fun rooms, though. One of my favorite things in video game history is in one of these rooms, and it's a giant Eileen face staring at you, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah,
Because
we're
when I
not going to
first saw
see
it
it
casually,
at all.
yeah, we're not going to see it at all. But when I saw it casually, I was just like, I cannot
my
believe
goodness.
what this game is showing me right now.
Right, we're going
That's
all the
the
way to
room
the end
right
of the
there.
corridor.
Oh man, we're in the 10s.
Oops. Come on, room.
We got the first and the last.
Whoa, there it is.
Okay, so
The Alpha and the
L11,
Omega.
R1.
R1, L11?
Yeah.
You know what? The universe made a typo. It meant to write L1, R1, but it typed L11.
Yeah. they
But it's
just
cool that
mashed that one
R1 is
more
the
time.
room because it puts us right next to where we need to go with Eileen. Oops.
So this is an RNG variable section. This can affect your world record run. And if you don't get good RNG here, if you're going for a WR, you're just going to have to reset and do it all over again.
I mean, you
There's
can.
nothing you can do to make
I've
it
seen
better.
some people pull it off by like, you know, they might not have a great hospital, but then they like execute everything else perfectly. There is another luck section in the run later on that can also play into that. So usually by then you can tell if the run is good or not. Because you might get awful luck here, but you might get really good luck there instead. So sometimes it evens out. Anyway, we've come back home.
Game.
So yeah, I love this game too.
I can't explain. I just really love this game. I don't know why the RNG doesn't bother me at all.
Oh, we got a note.
Some people get very mad, but for me, it's like I like it as an equalizer. Like you can be very good at speedrunning this game and then it still not work out, or you can be very bad, get good RNG, and it still work out. You know, you still get a good PB.
So we came home for a key. Now we can leave the hospital with Eileen. Eileen can't come through our hole. In fact, she can't see it. We kind of like just phase through the wall, which is interesting.
Yeah. We pull a Hogwarts on her, and she's not a witch, so.
Yeah. So I hope she's following me. Yeah, I can hear her footsteps. So down the stairs we go. Eileen will actually follow based on your movements. You can kind of guide her a little bit past these enemies by sticking to a certain side. And then I'm going to hammer this door and hope that she makes it before the enemies do. And she did. Well done.
Bam. Well done. Yes.
All right, so another screen where Eileen movement is quite important. You see the center of the spiral. If you let her feet touch it, she'll kind of do this correcting move where she sidesteps away from it, and that actually eats up time. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of like leading her down, but I'm ever so often I'm leaning to the, well, Henry's right, and what that does is just make sure that she doesn't get cut off by the spiral, the inside of the spiral. And Eileen is with us pretty much for the rest of the game now. We kind of have to look after her. It's our job. We failed with Cynthia. We messed up. And this is our chance at redemption.
It's our sacred duty. When I first learned about the Silent Hill 4 speedrun, having the good end or having the ending where she survives wasn't possible. But we have both been able to pull it off. So, you know, it's a chance. We can keep her alive.
When you start running this game, you will more than likely get the worst ending. But as you get better and improve, you'll start getting the slightly less bad ending, which is nice.
Yeah. Fortunately, the endings in this game aren't too deviate. They don't deviate too much.
Yeah.
Either Eileen lives, Eileen dies. The apartment is haunted, or it's not haunted, or some combination of the two.
No joke endings either as well. More leech magic for you. Boom.
Yep.
In fact, that's the last use of leech magic.
Yeah. Because you imagine having to step on every leech before you just go into the hole. You can't just like pull a Mario and hop off the leech into the hole. You have to step on every single one of them.
Oh, by the way, our apartment now has the capacity to be haunted, and that will, if we stand too close to a haunting, we will damage. So
yeah, it's a very small amount. But it becomes a problem if you let your apartment get very haunted. You can get hauntings on near your save file. You can
Yeah.
get hauntings near your bed. You can get hauntings basically everywhere that you would normally travel.
Okay, so
it
what
can
we're
be a
doing
real
here now,
problem.
this is really important. Here's Cynthia. We kind of want to get in here before Eileen follows us, and then I'm going to wait for Cynthia to despawn, so 1 second. Just need quiet, I'm waiting for a sound. Come on, Cynthia. Come on, Cynthia. Please? Please? She's trolling me today. Where's the sound? There it is. Right, you might have thought I was
So
mad.
what he
but
wanted.
there was the sound.
So, yeah, what he wanted was for Cynthia to despawn in
Yeah.
that room because Eileen is left up there.
Yeah.
If we left Eileen and Cynthia together, it'd be bad times for both of them.
Yeah, it's kind of a makeshift crash that we're creating for Eileen. Sounds really bad.
Yeah.
But she's nice and safe in there, so she'll take less damage as a result. If Eileen gets damaged, she can't walk as fast. She also stops quite often to do her poetry, which we really don't like. So you got to protect.
No offense to her, but yeah, her poetry isn't very good yet. She needs to spend more time thinking it up. But if we left her up there with Cynthia, she'd get really damaged, and also we would need to leave her up there because it'd be much shorter for us to grab her and go through the turnstiles.
Yeah, trying to bring her through all these rooms is just it's a pain. We do a similar thing in the forest as well.
Yes,
when we get there,
and the water prison, and the building world,
and
with the Eileen skips.
Yeah. Right, so I need to change my inventory a little bit. We don't need these keys anymore. We don't need these tokens, and we'll store the sword for now.
We're basically preparing ourselves for Forest 2. In Forest 2, we need to have 8 slots of inventory open.
Ooh.
We need to have 8 slots of inventory open.
Yeah,
because we're gonna pick up 5 body parts. We're gonna pick up silver bullet. We're gonna pick up a talisman, and one other thing, a torch.
Yeah, so the only real place in the run where the inventory management is really important, like Axe said, is Forest 2. After Forest 2, we can kind of be a bit more lax with things. So everything is counted out very carefully, so that you have all of the relevant pieces of the dummy that you're putting together in Forest 2, as well as all the other bits and pieces you need to pick up. So we are about to head into Wallmen 2, the Revengeing, because guess what? I'm going to shoot some of the Wallmen.
Henry's going to go full rules of nature on these Wallmen.
Yeah, I'm also going to take this drink because, you know, Silent Hill 1 happened today, so we're going to go.
True, yeah. Just chug it at the end.
Whoops.
Chug it immediately.
Just immediately chugged it. I was trying to equip my gun.
Just chug that dew real fast.
I don't need it. I don't need it. It's fine.
Henry picked it up, raised it over his head. Yeah! Chugging it all the way down.
It's dead. Right, okay.
Now, we're not doing this for Henry. We're doing this for Eileen.
Yes, we're about to bring Eileen back down this way in a minute. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Okay, so that first one was a bit trolling. The bullets weren't reacting properly, so I spaced them out a bit there to make sure that they worked. Our gun's now empty, which is actually what I wanted, so that's fine. What we're going to do now
that's a good idea, isn't it? Put the silver bullet in the gun, then you don't have that other inventory space.
Yep, so we're picking up Cynthia's commuter ticket. It works kind of like the tokens, except we can go through both turnstiles. So we're actually here trying to lose Eileen. But she's with us. Oh well, she followed us. It's okay. We'll look after her. So we just need to pop back down to this platform because we now have our token that we went home and cleaned in our sink, so it will work in the vending machine. That's how vending machines work.
Right.
And we're going to get the murder scene key, which we need to get access to where Cynthia died. Pour one out for Cynthia. Eileen. Thank you.
If I pour one out, it'll be on the floor in my room. I don't know if I want to do that. Look, pour one outside.
The man said hydrate, okay? That means everything.
Everything must get moist.
Hydrate the carpet.
Yeah. This
On what?
carpet's parched.
So what we're doing now is we're just heading back this way. Now with Eileen in tow. I'm going to grab this train handle. Definitely don't forget the train handle. You'll have a bad time. That's definitely not happened to me before.
I don't think that's ever happened to me before.
That's because you don't run this game no more.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go down the wrong side of the escalator because that's the side that we cleared some wall men from. So just make sure Eileen's definitely with us. And off we go. So the smart people among you will have counted these guys, so you know I've got 2 to avoid. There's one. She got bonked.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world.
That was a good game. That's what it was. Sorry. It's like playing old or little league baseball. Everyone like high fives each other when they're done. That's what happened there. And we have one
Where's
more
this
left.
guy? Come on, you. He likes to troll me, this guy.
Now we don't have to wait for Eileen to exit with this, right? She'll just be with us?
Yeah, she'll just be with us, which is nice.
Fantastic.
You can see that the ghosts are encroaching, but don't worry. Oh my god, what are you doing here?
Oh man, that's happened to me a few times. Cynthia enlists help.
She does.
Yeah, like Cynthia is always there, and also when we use this train handle, Eileen will be with us.
Yeah, she will.
Thankfully.
I gave her a bit of a bonk, but she's okay.
Yeah.
And then we hammer this door, wait for her to arrive. There are some doors in these worlds that you can't go through without Eileen, so if you go through a door and Eileen's not following you, chances are she should be, and you've left her behind.
Yeah. Check your Eileen. Like, check your watch, your wallet, your cell phone, and your Eileen, and make sure you go through every one of these doors.
Thankfully, she is always on the map, so you will see a red triangle for her. And I'm pretty sure you don't actually, in this game, you don't find maps, you draw them, so you can't even miss the map.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't find maps, that's for sure. I love these spiral staircase sections. Like, it's full of, like, ambiguous, creepy art. You can't really look at it. It's all on the edge of your vision.
Yeah.
But there's always something interesting to half see, which I always stop, like, in a museum, like, looking at these exhibits. Like, what is going on here?
It is intriguing, and there's so much to be found in this game. I mean, like, we've probably talked about it to death now, but, like, play this game, guys. It's good.
Yeah, it's a good game. Open your minds. Embrace Eileen.
So we're now in Forest 2, and like we said, our inventory is going to be a bit squeezed in Forest 2, but it's all good. We're actually going to take this health just in case something bad happens, because I had that other one, and then I drank it because I was thirsty. So
Henry chugs it, then looks at it like, oh,
we're going to
no.
hold on to this one. Now, anyone who's played this game casually, you know that you have to have your torch lit so that you can see the doll pieces in the wells. Fine.
Yeah.
It's gone out because it goes out rather quickly, but the one thing you don't have to worry about on this route is the torch being like put out. Unless you really take your time, you will be fine.
But if you are playing casually, there is an oil can in your apartment that you can dip the torch into to let the light last a lot longer, which is really cool. But also, it's like you don't really see the oil can unless you like really explore your room and then look at everything. And then Henry would be like, "This is an oil can," and then you put 2 and 2 together, and it's like, "Oh, I can make it better."
Yeah, I can hear howling from downstairs. My wife always likes to howl at this part because it reminds her of, like, you know, wolves and moonlight and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I can hear literal howling from downstairs.
Those
Either
are
that
silver
or I'm
bullets.
doing really badly. So what we do here is we get the next doll part, and then I'm going to do something really nifty. So we want this silver bullet in our gun, but equipping things takes time, unless you're right at the door. If you're right at the door, you can do the thing and then access the door, cutting off the animation time. So what we've just done there is we've equipped our gun, loaded it with the silver bullet, and now we're going to equip our torch again. And it cost us no time at all to do that. Isn't that cool?
It's cool. It's like one of the reasons I don't speedrun this game anymore. I'll have to do these tricks too. Ugh.
Anyway, so you might have noticed Eileen wasn't with me. That's because I outran her. If she's not close to you, she won't follow you through a doorway into another room. And actually, what we want to do here is leave her behind in that room. Because, yeah, it becomes a crash at that point. She can kind of hang out in there, not get damaged at all, which just helps her, like, move through the game quicker.
Yeah. It's a safe room. There's no enemies there, so she takes no damage.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
also there's a
ghosts
jungle
never
gym.
spawn in there, so...
Right.
Also, there's a jungle gym.
But there's a jungle gym. Before you interrupted me, there's
Sorry.
a jungle gym with a chain hanging off of it, and that's one of Eileen's weapons, which is why I call her a warrior, because she like goes full double dragon with the chain whip. It's awesome.
Yeah, so you can equip Eileen with weapons in this game when you're playing through casually, and you really should, because like Axe said, she's a trooper. She will fight to the end.
Yeah.
But actually, that's not beneficial to a speedrun because she'll slow down to attack things. So.
Right. So we don't use it in the speedrun. But in casual, it's amazing when she turns around and starts whipping the ghosts. And like me as Henry, I'm like, come on, Eileen. Then I think, wait, she's whipping the ghosts and I'm running away? Hold on a second. Let's fight this thing together. You know?
Nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So this route through the forest, we get 2 doll parts. This is the first one. And then on the return trip, we grab the other one. We're basically, literally, again, collecting all 5 pieces of Exodia. So we'll combine them at the end and win Forest
They love
World.
their things in 5s.
They do.
Oh, 5 pieces of Exodia. I wish I could make Yu-Gi-Oh jokes. I'm going to have to watch Yu-Gi-Oh just so I can better my commentary.
You should watch Yu-Gi-Oh, but like literally just watch what I watched in childhood, which was like the first 20 episodes or something. That'll give you enough.
The syndicated run.
What's that?
The syndicated run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll light our torch over here.
Have we met Jasper the Return yet?
Yeah, he's floating around now. He's on fire.
Okay.
But I feel it would be inappropriate to ask him if we could light our torch on his person. That's a bit rude. So I'm not going to do that.
It's a bit rude, but I mean, he could just hover near the well. Yeah, there he is. He's floating off to the left. Just like, hey, Jasper, come here for a second. Act like you're going to talk to him about something unrelated. Let him light the well. Reach in there, grab the part, then close the conversation with him and move on.
This sounds great, but it doesn't sound like going fast.
Yeah,
you got to go
right,
fast. So
you gotta go real fast, like so fast.
We're gonna pick up this pickaxe.
Yeah, that's the one thing I forgot. I knew I forgot something. The pickaxe of despair.
It's the strongest weapon in the game, so we'll be using it on the final boss. Also, usually I would pick this health up and burn it, but I don't actually need it.
Yeah, you're good.
So, with this medallion, and then the final doll piece, which we get on the way back, you'll see that my inventory is completely full. So, that's how it works out.
There's no room for error on that. You can't. There's no wiggle room at all. We've talked about this, Garlips and I, a few times.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but if you do this, and it's like, no, because then you'll be out of room. I'm like, but what if I dropped off the doll parts before I go there? Then you'll be wasting time. It's like, grr.
Yeah. If you remember the sword that we picked up from that first ghost, there was some contention between the two of us over which sword should be the one that you use, and it turns out Axe was right.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, I've looked at it. I really didn't want. Oh well.
This is a doll torso with several appendages missing. We're just gonna reassemble it.
Yep.
And then it falls into a hole behind itself, and then we can go down the stairs.
Sometimes I get stuck on these stairs, so we run into this lamp for a second.
Yeah. You'd think that Henry could just like push the wheelchair thing out of the way and just go down the stairs, but I guess he wanted to put it all back together. Some sort of a nice thing he wants to do.
Look, okay, one thing about Henry you've got to understand is he doesn't think very critically. Casual players of this game, if you're ever playing this game, just count the amount of times that Henry says, "What the hell?"
It's his entire script.
Pretty much, yeah.
Except for the part where he tells Eileen, we have to go down to the deepest part of Walter Sullivan. I think we'll find our what we need to find out there, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's like the only complete sentence he has in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you do get more of an idea of Henry's character from the flavor text when he looks at stuff more than his actual dialogue, which is funny.
Yeah. That is something that Silent Hill games have excelled at. Like Heather Mason is my favorite horror character of all time, but mostly because of her dialogue when looking at things is so flavorful that you can really get a piece of what her personality is like.
Yeah, that were really good decisions that translator made.
So here we have Eileen running on top of the track, and we're on the bottom track.
Eileen
so we
can't
can
use
take out these
ladders
bugs.
because she's broken her arm. So
Right. And we should show sympathy to her pain. Okay? Okay. Sorry.
Oh my God.
A lot of people who speedrun this game are like, oh, come on, come on. It's like, she broke her arm, man.
yeah. What we're doing is while we wait for her to catch up with us, we're kind of taking these bugs out because every time the bug bumps into you, it takes off some time. And they can also bump into Eileen as well, so here she comes.
Yeah. Which damages Eileen, and we don't want damage to Eileen, so...
Yeah, it all adds up. What we're going to do when we get to the bottom room of this water prison outside area is we're going to do the first of 2 Eileen skips. So what we do is we intentionally run through Eileen in a certain way so that we can get to the door, because it's a very small room, so chances are she will follow you in and out of this room. But what we do is we do a very specific skip so that we can leave her in that room, and that will come into play in Building World 2 as well. So in we go. This corner is very interesting. Let's go take a look. Off.
Eileen.
Oh, wrong door.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I picked the wrong
This
door.
corner is still interesting. It's still very interesting.
There we go. That should be it. Good stuff.
So if we don't do that, she'll come with us. What we
Yeah.
do is we stun her for just a moment with a shoulder check. And then she's like, what? And then we leave, and she doesn't know what door we took. So she
Walter's
just stays
just
in the
having
room and
fun
waits
out
for
here
us.
by himself as well.
Yeah, he's got guns now. It's a lot of fun to shoot guns.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that face dive that those things make.
They can hurt you, though. I thought you were kind of like, that will never touch you, but sometimes it has, so...
Well, it's
Anyway.
never touched me.
Well, there you go. I get all the bad luck.
Well, you get more luck chance because you play this a lot more than I do.
That's true.
But we come down here for the prisoner's shirt. Earlier
Yes.
when we were here, Andrew DeSalvo, who is a character in the game we didn't even look at, he dies there. And so we're supposed to use that as a clue to come back down there and pick up his shirt. The shirt is covered in wax, and we need to find a way to... We have to find a way to read the message that's in the wax.
Yeah, which involves going home.
Hi, Lean.
Hi, Lean. Bye, Lean.
So our bathtub, for some inexplicable reason, is full of blood. We didn't put it there, but it is there. So we're going to bathe the shirt in the blood to make the wax message stand out.
Yeah. There is a clue. He says it reminds him of the water prison, so...
Yeah. That
what
was
we're
one
going
of
to
my
get
favorite
now
puzzle solutions in this game.
is our ghost busting kit. So we're going to hold on to the commuter pass. We're going to take these bullets, and we're also going to take our sword. If you remember, our gun is still loaded with a silver bullet. Now, a silver bullet instantly downs a ghost, and the one ghost that we will be pinning is Andrew DeSalvo, because Andrew DeSalvo has got a key that we need to escape the water prison. We're also going to take this health as well. Richard sometimes gets... Eileen, off we go.
Richard's never understood me, ever.
Yeah, I just feel like Richard gets me, like on an emotional level, you know?
You're both Sonic fans, you know, it's a thing.
So the way I'm moving in this room is very kind of like, I'm trying to take these hits for Eileen so that she won't take them. Here he is.
He can heal, she can't.
Boom. Bustin' makes me feel good.
Alright,
And
no
that's
more
the
than
key.
2 seconds.
Yeah, no more than 2 seconds. So, we're going to make our way to the bottom. Come on, Eileen. Oh, I said it. I said the song name.
You did. Finally, someone said it. And again, I can't sing it 2 seconds. Yeah, you'll find yourself saying "Come on, Eileen" a lot when you start speedrunning this, and then that song just kind of bumps into your head, stays there for a good while.
It does. It's unavoidable. It's best to just embrace these things.
Yeah.
Right.
So
once she's past the ladder,
I haven't seen this before. Okay. I've never seen you like go slow down the stairs before like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just making sure that she keeps up with me. Once you pass the ladder and she's past the ladder, you should be good for that door.
Right. And if Henry does like outrun her to go to the door, she'll just be in that room by herself with enemies and take damage. So like no matter how fast you can get there, you need to have Eileen get there with you.
Right. So this room sucks. I've died here a couple of times. Some people do this room as a YOLO. They don't bother to shoot these enemies. But
okay. Yep.
Definitely after Silent Hill 1, there's no way in hell that I'm taking this room on without that full clip.
Right. Some people run straight for the door. They try to guide the enemies to one side of the wall and then run around to the other side and juke them. But sometimes they'll gang up on Eileen and just slap her around, and then she'll kneel down and try to recover, and it takes a lot of time. It's not world record strat, but I like just shooting them. You line them up with a gun like Garlips did, and you just shoot all of them because for some reason the bullets will pierce. And just lay them down. It takes like 3 seconds. Then you go to the door, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like with the RNG in this game, you could probably still get a WR if you did that way, but it would be less likely. You should just YOLO it. This is one of those things. It's just safer the other way, though.
Yeah, if you're out for a world record, then you've got to do dice roll upon dice roll. But, like, as proven tonight, I need to limit the amount of dice rolls. So. Right, we're just trying to get past Richard. I don't think she followed me. Oh, she did. Nice.
She did.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to do the second Eileen skip. Now, if anyone's played Building World 2, you will know how long and arduous and painful Building World 2 is. Watch how long it takes me. So I'm going to grab these bullets. We're going to come down to this corner. We're going to run through Eileen and hit this door. And there we go.
Bam.
She is trapped in that room. Now, you might be asking me, why did we trap her in that room in particular? Well, there's something about that room and the fence in that room that Eileen can kind of disregard at will. She can basically phase through that gate. Basically, what happens is we come up here. There's a cutscene. You'll even see Eileen on the other side of the gate. If I do that. There you are. Hi, Eileen.
Yeah, there you go.
And
I think it's because of the chain link fence and the fact that she's still visible. Like, it's all part of the room.
So
and then we just wait for her to show up.
Yeah, she will just come running in. There she is.
Yep.
And
otherwise, we'd have to go down to the basement of this building world and fight a whole bunch of other things. Yeah. And it'd be a real nightmare.
There's basically a door that you have to take Eileen through, and before you can go through that door, you need to put 3 items or 5 items in the right place?
It's an average.
Something like that.
It's 4 items in 4 places. It's the volleyball, the cat, the birthday candles, and something else. The billiard ball. That's what it is.
Right, there's a bonus Eileen skip I'm going to go for down here. If you run down the step... Well, where is she? She's taking her time. It's because I bonked her. Oh, well.
Probably.
Anyway, if you go through the door here, as she's at the bottom of the stairs... Come on, then. Like this.
On, Eileen.
She followed me through?
I don't think so.
No, Eileen!
What's wrong with you?
So, if you go through at the right time, she'll also come through with you, based on proximity there as well. But I messed it up.
She'll be close enough to you and the door. That's fine. Pick up the axe.
Yeah.
Best weapon in the game.
And this code is 4890. So, this is another room where we just have to run to the bottom and fend off some bugs. So, if we've got any more donations or blobs, now's a good time.
It does not appear that we have any more donations, unfortunately, which you guys all in the chat can do by doing !donate. But I did just want to say that we are indeed raising money for charity. And right now we are, what is that, $110 away from the matching the total that we raised during our Winter Wasteland marathon. So if we can reach that, that would be really awesome. Also, a correction from earlier. The Drakengard 3 Red Tower Mikhail ending is not actually an ending. It is a choice whether or not to have that particular costume is not the right word, but skin, I guess, would be a better word during the run. So just wanted that correction out there. The Emil's Head and Giant Baby Head endings, I believe, are still, in fact, endings. Thank you.
So what's going to happen now is we're about to fight one of the few bosses in this game. It's called the One Truth. Come on, Eileen. This is the other randomized part of the game. So, Axe, could you explain the One Truth?
Yeah, there's I think there's like 12 or 3, 6. I think there's 10 of these portraits, and one of them is the real boss.
Oh, I got it.
The other ones, that's the real boss.
Yeah,
the other ones will just take damage, but the one that is the real boss will damage all of them at once. And a fun fact, this is fun for me anyway, if Eileen is equipped with a weapon that's like chain level or higher, she will actually seek out the one truth and smack it if she's close enough. But it's not speedrun viable because you have to equip her and she can't be equipped and you don't want to have anything in
Eileen is
inventory
getting in the way of this stuff.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, she's alright.
Yeah. So
we love Eileen, even her faults.
The game's probably going to troll me now by not making the one appear I need. No, there it is.
There you go.
So that's yeah, that was actually surprisingly simple, but sometimes you can try every single one in this room before you get the right one, and that can just be painful.
Yeah. She's coming.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you really don't lose time by hammering the OK button, because time pauses when you get that message come up. So.
Right. And now we've descended to the very bottom of Walter Sullivan. Just the deepest part
of Walter Sullivan. Yeah.
Whatever the heck that means.
No, lady. I'm sorry. You need to hurry up. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah.
When she starts with the poetry, you ask her a question, and then she'll stop.
Yeah. It's
you ask her politely.
Really, but yeah, we asked her politely. Sometimes you get the really long one, and it's just like, oh God, really?
Yeah. Once you start reading the 21 Sacraments or something.
Yeah.
So then you just have to nick her with the axe a little bit, just a little slap. Just a light bonk.
A light bonk. So we're actually done with like all of the other worlds now. It's just apartments 2 that we need to do. So first we need to go into room 302, but it's room 302 of the past. We're going to meet up with a character called Joseph, who lived in our apartment before us, except you won't see him at all.
Who is one of 2 roles voiced by the guy who voiced Alucard from Symphony of the Night. The fun little trivia thing.
Yeah.
Got a great deep voice.
Again, going back to that run I did the other week where I played it upside down, Joseph was the right way up. He was the only character in the game.
That's awesome. He like comes out of the floor like, what are you fools doing?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So here we have to pick up these red pieces of paper, but we don't have to get all of them.
Yeah, for some reason it's just these 3.
Yeah. I think it's the 3 on the desk. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's one on the dresser there.
So we're skipping the cutscene. But Joseph basically tells us that we need to kind of like sort Walter Sullivan out, because this whole murder thing's been going on far too long.
He tells us to kill Walter. Yeah. Kill Walter. Kill Walter.
He does say it like that,
he makes it very clear what you need to do next.
He's like, no offense, Henry, but this needs to sink in, okay?
no debate, no moral gray area. We have to murder this man.
Yeah. Anyway, so we found out that apparently Walter Sullivan is dead behind a wall in our apartment the whole time. Also, funnily enough, he has our house keys, which was nice. It's always in the last place you look, I find.
I love that saying, because it took me years to realize how dumb it was. It's always in the last place you look. Well, yeah. It's not gonna be the first place I look, because that'd also be the last place I look. I wouldn't keep looking for them after I found them.
So what we're doing now is, you might have noticed I ran off without Eileen. In this world, for some reason, you can do that. It's fine. She'll meet up with us at the bottom. We don't have to worry about her. She's fine.
Yep. Don't have to protect her anymore. She just stays up there. It's the same thing as like the train handle in the subway too, where once you use the train handle, she just zaps right to where you are. So you can just go ahead and move all the way to
has Cynthia in it, so
the deepest, bottomest of Walter Sullivan, and then then she appears.
The fun thing about Apartments World 2 is, like, the one place you can't use to ascend or descend floors is the spiral staircase in the middle.
Yeah.
You have to go through this twisty-turny route through all of the, like, apartment rooms and things, which is really fun. This is Richard's room.
But it's mostly a straight line, just a curvy, jagged straight line.
Yeah.
Like if you run into every wall of every room you go into, you'll find your way at the bottom. There's no real maze here. Also, where's Dad?
Dad, can't see your face.
Hey, your fight.
Yeah, we're both fans of an Eternal Enigma who runs this game.
Yeah.
He makes fun of the voice thing there.
So here we're finding 6 memories of Walter Sullivan's like only time with his parents, I guess you could say. He's a baby and they're abandoning him in this apartment. Yeah. So all these little hanged men are like a memory of the time when his parents abandoned him here.
To be absolutely fair to Walter Sullivan, he's not had a great time of it, okay? But that shouldn't result in 21 homicides.
Yeah. Ritualistic or no.
Yeah.
Black magic or no. He doesn't get to do that. That's a crime. I'm not even sure if it's a federal crime or not, but it's definitely up there. Crimes.
Get back. So we've just got one more to get, which is out here in the corridor.
And that's something else we've neglected to mention. Walter Sullivan is doing all this because he thinks that Henry's room 302, is his actual mother.
Yeah.
Which goes to show you that Walter Sullivan doesn't know where babies come from.
It's kind of, it's a room-womb situation.
Yeah, maybe someone mispronounced it. There's Eileen. She doesn't look so good.
No, but it's okay. She's only going to make it to this door.
Yeah.
Get this through the wall.
She could look a lot worse.
And now, officially, we don't have to worry about Eileen. She's in the final boss, but she's kind of like doing her own thing in the corner.
Yes.
We don't have to worry about her. We might save her, we might not. She hasn't taken an awful lot of damage, so it might happen, actually.
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen as long as your pickaxe skills are still sharp. Or on point.
Nice. I actually need to equip the pickaxe, but I found doing it too early can actually cause me issues with some of the other enemies if I get stuck. So I'm going to keep the axe until literally the last room.
Yeah, Henry runs with a pickaxe like a child with a brand new toy.
he does have a distinct gamble. It's very flouncy. But we love that. It's cool.
Yeah. It's one of his only emotional expressions in the game.
Yeah.
I love this game.
Yeah,
I love the walls. I love this ambience right here. The music.
Yeah.
When it hits right, it's like playing through a fever dream. And it never really loses that edge to me. Even speedrunning it, I always still feel like a twist of terror while playing the game.
We're going to equip the axe as we go through this door, hopefully.
Hey, kid.
Oh, doesn't work
young
on that
Walter
door.
Sullivan.
So we're coming up on the final boss. Time will be when we deliver the final hit on the final boss. We just got a free heal that we didn't even need, because when you go through the final boss, you get a free heal. Yeah, this is the final boss. So what we need to do, we have the umbilical cord. Basically, we have to use the umbilical cord on the monster first before we can do any damage to anything.
We didn't mention the umbilical cord. So
Yeah.
Frank Sunderland, father probably of James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2, he kept the umbilical cord that Walter Sullivan was born with. He just kept it in a box all these years. and we have to just rub it like vigorously against that god
He's a strange
beast
gentleman.
right there. I attribute it to black magic. I think he was compelled to keep
like, you can see where James got it, I think.
Yeah, you can see where James got it. I got you. You also notice that Eileen is having a little bit of a walk.
Yeah.
She is going to walk into the Event Horizon machine.
Yeah, she's a really big fan of the film Event Horizon, but those things are pointy, so it's not good.
That's all part of the ritual. If she dies there and then Walter kills Henry, then he completes the 21 sacraments, because Eileen is number 20 and Henry is number 21.
So using the umbilical cord, release these 8 spears, 4 on each side. That's why you enter the boss with a certain amount of slots free, because it's just a lot easier and less of a nightmare. Once you've used all 8 of those spears on the monster, then you can actually fight Walter, because he's not invulnerable anymore. And time will come when he lets out this really large yell, and I will... Oh, wrong thing. It's alright that he teleported, though.
Oh, yeah?
I'm actually happy that he teleported, because it means that he's really close to us. We don't have to go run off and find him.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get him up against a wall, because the tactic here is to get Walty up against some kind of invisible wall so that he can't escape, basically. Because otherwise he does this spinning attack, which is not cool.
And he's
so
vulnerable.
He'll hop back now.
The shadow drops. Yep, there we go.
He'll shoot me, but that's fine.
I'll do it again.
Nope, we'll beat him. Then he'll hop back, and now hopefully he should stay in place. If you get too close, though, he... Oh, you... saucy bugger.
Okay, I think you got it, because he'll start doing the spin attack if you didn't walk forward.
Yeah, that's true. So we should be able to just hammer left click now.
There you go. Yep, you got it. I think about 9 hits.
Oh,
he hit you. What?
You can never take anything for granted.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot.
And that's time. Sorry, I should have counted down time. That's time.
We did save Eileen.
We did save Eileen. So we're going to skip the ending. And the rockin' music. This soundtrack is amazing.
Yes.
So let's take a look at the IGT. Sub-hour. I'm happy with that. Sub-hour.
Yeah, sub-hour was a fight for us.
Yeah, my PB is 55:07. The world record is like 45 minutes.
Very nice. Did you want to do any shout-outs or anything before you leave?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I'll do mine, and then Axe, you can do yours. My name is Garlips. If you've liked the cut of my jib, please feel free to follow me on Twitter, Twitch, etc. It's all Garlips. Just search Garlips or it's Garlips. You'll find me. And I also do a podcast with my good friend Axton10_61 and some other fellow streamers as well, Jason Vader and Lost in the Warp Pipe. And together we do a podcast called Spoilers of the Damned, which is about horror games, horror movies. If you'd like to find Spoilers of the Damned on Twitch, you can do that too. All of the relevant links, everything that I ever do, there's one link on my Twitch page. You go to that, you'll find it all. So if you'd like to, please go look at that stuff. Thank you.
All right, I'm Axton1061, and I am a Metal Gear Solid streamer and a variety streamer. I will be doing some Metal Gear Solid speedruns in the future, so you may see me again doing some Metal Gear Solid stuff at some charity event or another. I also play a bunch of fighting games in FF14 on the Discord, which is also by my name, but find me on Twitch, Axton10_61, and I'll arrange an invite to the Discord and all that. That's it for me.
Metal Gear.
Thank you both.
Metal Gear.
Oh, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Not a problem. Both of those runs were really great. I did just want to say that coming up next is going to be Rod G playing Drakengard A ending. But yeah, just thank you so much for being here. Those were great runs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enough